So I'm going through this quickly how I analysed the cloud on the 3rd of August, and that's I'll quickly adjust the images, and these are all things that I was taught by watching Laszlo's video of looking at these peculiar cloud structures and just seeing all the peculiar things in there. Now this obviously this one straight here is strange because you've got those like objects sticking up at right angles and things like that. So that's when I knew I was onto something. I never dreamed that I'd capture those alien entities or creatures inside and laying worms like that fictitious um, cloud, a bug that runs around. So I'll show you how quick I found these things. There's that object there as well. It just doesn't seem like an object that would be in a cloud. So obviously that's why um, they look like, look at that. It's like alien entities which are fourth dimensional. They use a cloud or whatever as some sort of transport medium, or they've always lived in the cloud. That's one other thing that I'm trying to look at as well. Have they always lived there? But we haven't been able to identify them. But it's happening more with the chemtrails. So is it that chemtrails allows them to be seen easier or whatever? Now, I haven't ever filmed UFOs before. It's all been happening in a year or so. So that's why even I'm confused. And it's like I've had huge orbs above my house. I've filmed, I had a square a UFO stop up on top of me, pretty high up under the clouds, Strathfield, 2013 March. So all these things, I'm just thinking, well, what's going on? Why am I seeing these things? I haven't ever seen them before. Um, and 3 orbs appeared on the 28th of January, right on top of me as I was on the balcony. They were very high up. Um, now, on all these images, I've had to go contrast extreme to the right, and these objects. These are like fantastic shapes in those clouds. Again, nothing special, but when I saw them, obviously I started to think according to that mothership film of orbs firing out. And I just filmed some more today, and one orb did quickly fly through it. Those patterns are very strange. So when I see those sort of strange patterns, I start to look at the images very closely. Um, I don't like to waste too much time analyzing them, but obviously you can see the way I'm doing it. There are like shapes there that shouldn't be there. So I'm trying to do as quick as I can not to bore you. That's unusual shape because it actually, now I did film one little white object coming out and it was just fantastic film. Uh, there we go, there's one of these strange shapes and it has like an object on there. There's a bizarre object obviously in this film on the edge of that cloud. There he is. I've got about 20 or 30 pictures. I'm trying to, aha, this is interesting because it actually shows that sort of object right there, sitting there on the edge of that cloud. There's like very dark, oh wow, what do we got here? Look at that. Look at that coming up now. I was very surprised when I caught that sort of insect object, and you can see the claws and everything on there. That's the one that just blew me away thinking, how how can you, exist? A few people looked at it. These images are very, very hard to process. They're not normal, but they're very hard to process. There we go. Got all those strange shapes coming in all sorts of angles. Look at that object there. It just seems to be part of that cloud, but yet, see, like rounded objects there. You got that arm process, the thing there. They just, if this is what these entities look like, they're bizarre. So the reason I'm going through this, it just brings up all these really, really weird things in those patterns which shouldn't be there. There's that one that looked like a mothership. It was just, look at the shape of it. It's hard to describe how these things could be alien objects floating there, but just if you look at the shape, you'll see all the strange things there, and I've analysed the parts at the bit at the end. I don't know what to make out of all this. It's just too fantastic. It's too crazy even to think it's possible. That's why I'm just sort of going through these pictures easy as I can, quick as I can. I'm using the opposite of every contrast I've used before, so I'm always going right to the end, and this goes right to that end to try to, and this one I'm using the opposite, the other side, just to show these patterns. And these are only picked up on infrared. If you use the normal camera, which I tried, all you see is nice blue and white. You don't pick up what you pick up here on the infrared. Wow, what have we got here? Look at that. If I go over to the right, I've just ruined the image. Look at that. You can see some sort of object right there. Every time I think I saw something unusual, all my hunches were correct. Look at those shapes there. Just look at that shape coming up. These are fantastic shapes, which I don't know how they could be just accidental shapes in nature, but you just have to press the right parts of this histogram, brightness, contrast, and you sort of get these things popping up. They're very unusual things to pop up. Here's that white object, and when I zoomed in, I just caught it. It looked like it had, two arms literally on it. It was just so surreal. And a head. And it was full of light. The light seemed to come from the center of the object rather than all around it. See what I mean? When I adjust that, you can see it looks like those two little arms on the side, that head there, and a torso, or just they call them angels in Mexico, but to be able to catch that and to actually see it floating from the cloud, and then you're actually looking at it and analyzing it, see what I mean? See how that brightness seems to come from the heart of the object and gradually, if you catch it at the right position. I honestly do not know what I'm looking at in these pictures. Are these souls? I was told one person they're interdimensional entities. Look at that. I'll go the other way. Okay, this is as weird as it gets. This is one of these objects, right? Now, this is the first time I've only pressed the pictures auto enhance on the phone to bring them up, but these are the sort of things, and I'm even going to adjust the detail on this. They're crazy things. I don't know what's really what these objects are. Look at them. Look at that. Look at that. It seems to be attached to the cloud. It's not just I read somewhere they actually feed from the pollution and the bacteria in the cloud. Um, Now, summertime the clouds are always at a certain distance, about 700 meters. Um, it is extremely possible. I'm not going to dispute that, but the way that I'm looking at it is I'm seeing too many other squares and orbs and everything related with that it's an extra dimensional entity. That's where I'm coming from. Very hard on that one. Sorry this is taking long. It's just there's so many interesting things in here that I haven't seen anywhere sort of looked at in the world. I haven't seen anyone zoom in like this. Now all I use is a Sony 106E, which is a very handy small camera. It used a DVD, a disc in it. That didn't worry me because I just connected the images. Look at that. Look at those images. Now I'll try to enhance the detail. It's 40 optics, so it's quite good, and it can go up to 2000 zoom. Now all I did was purchased I was told by Laszlo Novak, get a 850 nanometer infrared lens, which I did. And I thought, yeah, I've just wasted $200. This was secondhand over eBay. It was a camera company in the UK. I thought I've just blown that money. And guess what? I just sat out there when I spoke to him on the phone. He said there's heavy orb activity, and that's when I filmed three orbs filming flying in formation. You can see that on my YouTube channel. And then I thought, well, I'll just look at the clouds again. I'm just wasting my time. Now, I was just so shocked when I found all these images inside, and a shocking one is coming up. It is an object. It's got claws. It's got a head. It's coming into a round recession into the cloud, and it's got like an antenna process on the head of it. It is ridiculous to even think this could exist up there in normal clouds traveling over people. I just have no other thought of, my God, what's going on here? You know, these are real images I filmed myself. I'm just playing around with a cheap photo editing from Windows. I downloaded the home Sony movie maker, so I can quickly fast forward it and go through the images. And I then use my HTC One phone cam to take pictures of these from the screen. So what you're looking at is very high zooms just in a nice dark room. See, when I go too far I lose the image. I have to keep this right in the center. And when I zoom in nice and far, that's when I get these really, really good images. Now these shapes shouldn't be in a cloud. You know, there's beautiful curves and all sorts of shapes happening. So I'm coming up to the really good stuff. So just hold on your seats. I'm trying to put the effort in so you can try to understand all these shapes and how they could represent ET objects. A week ago I wouldn't have dreamed of talking about this. So that's how quickly things happen by accident with me. And you see all these strange shapes, and that's why I'm thinking, well, is there more to this? And when I looked at Laszlo Novak's orb mothership flying around, it was, you've got to be kidding me. Now look at those holes and look at those shapes in those clouds. I don't think they're accidents, they're orb nests. They're like interdimensional nests, and the orbs I filmed filmed a Laszlo's video, and also myself today I caught one flying through, and you'll see them just shoot through and come out, and it just doesn't seem like they're from this earth. They're too sophisticated. But to actually catch the object there that looked like it was laying eggs, that to me just, in an hour I just accidentally stumbled on that image. Only infrared picked these things up. See those unusual lines and the angles and all these things? Okay, I'm not sure what's happening this one. Something is there. Something has come out of this one. It's just a very dark massive, all those. I could adjust the detail. Sometimes it's worked, but generally it's not worth the effort I'm wasting time on here. Now, what you're seeing there are just very small screen images for my computer laptop. See what I mean? The blur kicks in at a certain magnification. Here it hasn't. And you're just looking at very dark shapes, but on a few of those, I've actually found it looks like a hat shape on one of those. It was like, you got to be kidding me sort of moment. And there it was. You'll see that image coming in pretty soon. See that object there? It's just sitting on that cloud. It is something, but I don't know what it is. That's just a tree that I've gone through. It's tree branches. There's the object there. There's just too many curves, too many shapes to this. There's that thing coming through. Okay, this is a great picture. The reason it's good, because we see a grayish dark object. We see those openings in the clouds that I've told you about. It is a fantastic picture. Now, I'm going to even play with the detail on this one. I've captured this in 3 or 4 instances. There's an opening in the cloud, and these objects just seem to do something, come out or go in or open it up. See that there, that opening? See how this grey object appears there and that object there, and there's the opening. I can't fiddle around with that image anymore. I think I've used the right way to do it. If I go to the right, it's actually going more to the left in these images, and the contrast all the way there. If I touch shadows, I'm maybe doing something, but it doesn't help much. I don't understand how, but the clouds provide some sort of hooking device or attachment device to these things. What these things are they a natural? There was that object again. Yes, there was that image again of that round hole in the sky. In the cloud, there's that object coming in out of it. Part's grey and part is white. We've gone through that. I'll play around again. Maybe if I just capture something before this extra work, it is worth it. See what I mean? There's something happening there, but that's all I can say. Something is happening, that's all I can say. The images I can adjust. Sometimes I capture extraordinary things. The other times I'm thinking, why have I wasted my time with these images? This is one of those I think I'll find something there now. Too hard. The reason this is a good one is a fairly thick cloud cover. In the thick ones, it looks like there's more matter for these things to attach to or to live on. Okay, we've got something there. Very hard to do anything with this one. I've got 3 or 4 prize images. They're like fantastic, and they're the ones that this object. It just begs to understand what it is. There was that hole. The object comes out. There's all these tubes coming out. It begs to work out what it is. Yes, again, I don't want to spend. These are quite a few images that I've processed, hoping to pick up more detail, but it's very hard. There it is there. There's one process coming through there. There's that object in the hole in the cloud. I'm trying to speed it up. Sorry guys, it's quick as I can do. I don't want to miss anything that might pop up. Something's there, I can't do anything more with it. The ones that I can't do anything more, I just flick through it very quickly. Oops, I've frozen the images now. I'm trying to quickly pause it. Okay, there's that image there. There's another one. That's all I can do. There's too many strange shapes in there. I can't go any deeper in that one. This is unusual. It is something that sits on the top of the edge of that cloud. Now, if you look at it as close as I can get you to look at it, something's happening. That's all I can say. Again, it's frozen. I think I have a problem. There's too much being downloaded on the computer, so it's starting to freeze up on me.